Shakur Stevenson dominates Olympic gold medalist Robson Conceição. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So I just watched Shakur Stevenson versus Robson Conceição, and there's not much for me to break down. I mean, I could do my best and try to break it down, but it was a clinic, and it was a butt whooping administered by Newark's own Mr. Shakur. Now, before the fight started, to me, this is just my observation, they were showing Shakur Stevenson in the ring. So backstage, he was like sleeping as he was preparing, and he looked extremely comfortable and calm. But when he was in the ring and they heard the crowd and stuff like that, to me, it looked like he was a little bit nervous. And, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it looked like he was a little bit nervous. So I was wondering if that was like just because he was at his hometown and he has so many, it's just a different level of pressure when you're fighting at home. But the fight after the second round, it really wasn't even a competitive fight. So whether Shakur was a bit nervous fighting before his hometown, all his friends, family, teachers and different things like that, possibly in the crowd, he got over that because he started dog walking Robson Conceição. I think in the first two rounds, Robson Conceição, he had a solid plan. He was going to Shakur's body, and I hadn't really seen that. Guys are worried about Shakur's hand speed, his ring IQ, his intelligence, and his ability to counter, and he's a southpaw. So he had a very strong body attack early, and that's Robson Conceição. But Shakur has such a presence and a dynamic offense mixed with he has a fortress. He's hard to penetrate, but it's hard to get a lock on him and get several shots or your big shots off on Shakur Stevenson, and thus making it very dangerous to fight Shakur Stevenson. It's crazy because I know Shakur's plus and minus has to be high, and usually guys get that from one of two ways. Either you're a big, immense puncher, and guys have to second guess like Wilder or Triple G, and guys have to second guess, or they get hurt with your power and then they throw less, or you have to have insane ring IQ and you have to have overall skills to get all your shots off, and they can't get any of their shots off. Or by the fight, as the fight wears on, we've seen this with Floyd Mayweather, they become gun shy and don't know what to do. Rigondeaux, Shakur Stevenson, guys like that have the ability to do that to you, where it's like guys just become gun shy. And as the fight wore on, after the round, I want to say 5, there was like one round, like 4 or 5, where it was really a turning point where Shakur started to pick up his offense like crazy. I think he hurt him a couple times throughout the fight. Nothing so sinister to the point where Robson Conceição was on his way out. But I think Shakur, he really wanted to get the stoppage in front of his hometown crowd, and he tried for it. He tried, even to the 12th round where he was up by so much. Conceição would have needed a knockout to win. Shakur was still, he's that much of a competitor where you could argue he's fighting a more dangerous fight, just because he could have really gave up the 12th round and he would have definitely won no matter what, as long as he stayed upright. And he's trading, so that makes you more susceptible to counter shots. But he was confident in beating Conceição, so he didn't care. Very good straight lefts, hooks, body shot, defense. I mean, it was a complete and dominant performance. So I was very impressed by it. My only critique that I said on my watch party was just for the dynamics of selling tickets and pay-per-view. Shakur, I think he has the ability and the skill and the mind to get enforced stoppages. You don't have to be the most forceful. Like, you look at Tim Bradley versus Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios has fought bigger punchers like Pacquiao. Pacquiao did not stop. He did not stop Brandon Rios, but Timothy Bradley did. And that was the execution of a great strategy and game plan. And I think if Shakur makes a few tweaks, I think he can get more knockdowns and or stoppages with his style, because he likes the inside work. He likes shootouts, as long as he's the one in charge, if you will. And he's aggressive, despite having a tight defense. So I think he can, just keep maturing and working towards that. It might be a little bit harder since he said he's moving up, or it might be easier. You never know, because sometimes guys drastic weight cuts, and the weight cut can dehydrate you, things like that. You could be weight drained. So when you move up, your body feels replenished, refreshed, renewed, and rejuvenated. So maybe Shakur feels a bit stronger because he's literally missed weight by almost 2 pounds, like 1.6 pounds. So it's possible he just outgrew the division, and maybe at this higher weight, maybe he just feels stronger with less of a weight cut at this stage. So we have to see how that looks at lightweight. But all in all, I was very impressed with Shakur Stevenson. Ring IQ, his defense, his offense. He didn't have any hometown hijinks or anything. He was never hurt in the fight. He hurt Conceição. Now, in my watch party, some people were coming in, and a lot of the Canelo fans, usual suspects, they were hating on Shakur Stevenson, saying things like, oh, he got to stop and close the show. Now, me, I've had a similar, I said something similar, but at the same time, I'm qualified to do it because at the end of the day, I don't just have these immense criticism and critiques. See, a lot of people, they want to have the criticisms and critiques, but they don't want to play the compliments and actually give credit. So me, I give you a fair, unbiased approach, and I'm giving you both sides of the coin. I'm telling you what he did great or what needs improvement and everything else under the sun. But I seen a lot of people and the naysayers and the haters, they were coming saying he got to close the show. Like, first thing they were saying was he got to learn how to finish people, and I wasn't impressed. I was bored and things like that. And that's why you guys see this picture on the screen, because let's not get ahead of ourselves. Robson Concepcion is a gold medalist. Some of you don't know this, but he beat Lomachenko in the amateurs. And then the next day they changed it and said Lomachenko won, or they changed it to a no contest or something because Lomachenko was getting ready to turn pro. So they probably didn't want a recent loss on Lomachenko's record because he had this crazy amateur story with 400 fights almost and only one loss. And Robson Concepcion is a gold medalist. So you see the picture. This is when this is the night Oscar Valdez fought Robson Concepcion, and you see the status of his face. His face is all tore up. And then this screen cap that I got of Shakur is Shakur after the fight, and his face looks like he's ready to go to prom, like he's ready to go to a club. His face looks clean cut. So it shows you, and this is the difference. Oscar Valdez is a one-punch knockout artist. We've seen that with the Miguel Berchel fight, and he's a 2-time Olympian. And Shakur also beat him as well. So Shakur just ran through pretty much the best guys at 130 pounds, and both fights look the same. And again, I'm showing you this side by side for the sake of reference. Oscar Valdez, 2-time Olympian. He was a champion, and he was defending at home, just like Shakur Stevenson, but he was defending in his second home of Arizona, where he grew up, and it was a robbery, and Robson Concepcion really beat Oscar Valdez, and even one of the judges from the WBC that they appointed had to come out and apologize for his wide scorecard. So we already know there was politics there, and Robson Concepcion really should be entering the fight with Shakur tonight as a champion, but they robbed him of that opportunity. This happens, politics and boxing, so let's not get that twisted. And I did this side-by-side pick stitch so you guys can see. When you fight Shakur Stevenson, he's giving you offense and he's styling on you, but his face doesn't look all cut up and shredded like Oscar Valdez's face. And despite all of that, like I just said, Oscar Valdez and Robson Concepcion met the same fate fighting Shakur Stevenson. So yes, he's that good. So before people have all these critiques about Shakur needs to stop him and things like that, you got to take these things into consideration. And some guys at the elite level are tough. Some guys know how to survive, especially if you're an Olympic gold medalist and you had a bunch of amateur fights. You know what to do not to get knocked out. And Robson Concepcion was fighting a style of fight towards the end of the fight after round 5 or 6, as I mentioned, where he needed a knockout to win, and he really wasn't pressing for the knockout. So to me, it shows that a guy is content being carried to the full 12, and he knows he's outmatched. And he started losing his form. His legs looked gone. He was spilling about, and he almost looked like he was drunk in there versus Shakur Stevenson. So I'm giving credit to Shakur Stevenson. That's really a testament to what he's able to do to guys to nullify and neutralize their best weapons. We never seen Robson Concepcion look like that when he fought Valdez, and Valdez is a big puncher and an Olympian. And lastly, some of the same Canelo fans and stuff, they're not having the same criticisms for Oscar Valdez when he fought Robson, Conceição, and more recently, Canelo versus Triple G. Canelo fought a silver medalist in Triple G, who he already sparred with in the past, shared the ring with for 2 fights, that's 24 rounds, and he couldn't drop or stop Triple G either. So why is it this standard that Shakur, who's only, 25, 26 years old or whatever age he is, he got to stop a gold medalist despite winning virtually every round, But when it's Canelo, he's listed on old media's pound for pound list higher than Shakur Stevenson, and he didn't have to stop Triple G, and he was fatigued and faded in the second half of the fight and was even getting hurt by Triple G, and Triple G looked slow as molasses, and he's 40 years old. Robson Conceição, when he showed up, he looked like he was vibrant and fresh. He got the fight taken out of him and beaten out of him. Let me know how I did. Congrats to Shakur Stevenson. Definitely a threat. I'll be following his move at 135. Better names for him, bigger names for him. Hopefully he can get the fights. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.